this time, we're doing something a little different.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah, we're just looking at one source material today, and it is a fable called The Lumberjack's Gift. And it's from this collection called Owl's Fables, Tales You Wished Weren't True.
That's a great title.
I know, right? It kind of grabs you right away and makes you wonder what kind of fables are these going to be.
Yeah.
And so this one is about an old lumberjack who he's going to cut down this tree.
Okay.
But it's the last tree standing. And it turns out to be not such an ordinary tree.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it really forces him and us as the readers to confront kind of that weight of our actions and the silent kind of creaking up on you loss that you don't always realize.
Yeah, the things that you don't notice until it's too late.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's dive in.
Sounds good.
Okay, so right away, I think what stood out to me was just the feeling of this setting.
Yeah.
It's this clearing in the forest, and it's described as a place that like people and animals even kind of avoid.
Oh, wow. So it's already got this kind of negative connotation to it.
Yeah, and it's so quiet.
Yeah.
You know, you can practically feel that something's missing.
Yeah, like a void.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when, the lumberjack enters the scene.
Okay.
And he's described as this like weathered old guy. He's got these calloused hands that tell a story of years of hard work.
Right, like he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just so focused on this one tree.
Oh, wow.
That's left standing.
It's like the last one.
It is the last one, yeah, and it's massive. I almost picture like one of those California redwoods.
Oh, yeah.
Something just huge and ancient. And he's there with his chainsaw.
Okay, so we have like this contrast between, the man-made tool and this ancient being.
Totally. And it's that clash between like human ambition and the natural world.
Yeah.
And you really see that play out even more when he starts to cut into the tree. You can practically hear that chainsaw, screaming through this silent clearing.
Right.
But then all of a sudden silence. It just stops.
Oh, that's eerie.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, is there something else at work here? Something bigger than this lumberjack?
Right. You would think that if he's been a lumberjack for this long, he would have a chainsaw that works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's brand new, it's sharp, it's full of fuel. There's no reason for it to stop.
Right.
And then, this is where I really got chills. The tree starts to communicate.
Oh, wow. How does a tree communicate?
Not through words, but through the wind rustling its branches. And it says, "You have taken so much. Why have you come for the last of us?"
Oh, wow. That's
heavy, right?
Yeah, it's kind of haunting. Like you said, it gave you chills.
Totally. And the lumberjack, he tries to justify himself. He says, well, my village needs this.
Yeah.
We need homes. We need warmth.
Right. Basic survival needs.
Exactly. It's that age-old conflict.
Yeah.
Human needs versus nature. But the tree just laughs. And it's this chilling laugh, and it says, "You have already cut me down."
Oh, wow. That's a powerful line.
Isn't it? And at first, the lumberjack is confused.
Yeah, because how can you already cut it down if it's still standing there?
Exactly. But then he looks around and he sees that the clearing isn't empty. It's actually a graveyard of stumps.
Oh, wow. So he didn't even realize.
Yeah, he was so focused on each individual tree that he was cutting down that he missed the bigger picture.
Right.
The gradual loss all around him.
It's like we do that with so many things. We just don't notice.
Yeah, we don't see those gradual changes. Or maybe we choose not to.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it.
And so now the lumberjack sees it, and he realizes he hasn't come to take this last tree. He's come to witness its solitude.
Like it's a monument to all the ones that are gone.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's when the tree delivers its final message. It says, "A man does not hear the last tree fall. He only hears the first and forgets the rest."
Oh, wow.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second.
That is so powerful.
And to me, it's not even just about forgetting. It's about how we as humans, we prioritize the loud.
Right.
The immediate over the subtle, the gradual losses.
Yeah, the things that creep up on us.
Exactly. And that can apply to so many things in life, right? I mean,
no, absolutely. Like think about even in like our personal relationships or our own, health.
Yeah. Yeah. Or our connection to nature, our communities.
Exactly.
It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and not notice that slow, subtle erosion of the things that are really important to us.
Yeah.
And this realization, it changes the lumberjack. He leaves the tree standing.
Oh, wow. So he makes a different choice.
He does. And he knows that his village will have to find another way.
Right.
And the story wraps up with this moral: destruction is loud, but loss is silent. By the time you hear it, it has already happened.
So how do we learn to hear it sooner?
Right. Like, how do we become more aware of that silent loss before it's too late?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think this fable is urging us to do just that, to be more mindful, to look beyond those immediate gains.
Yeah.
To consider those long-term consequences.
And to really ask ourselves, like, what are those forests in our own lives? What are we taking for granted that might be slowly disappearing?
Yeah, and I think that's a really important question for all of us to consider.
I agree. And like the fable ends with that image of the lumberjack's village needing to find another way.
Right.
What does that look like for us? What does that look like for you? How do we shift our focus from that short-term gain to long-term sustainability?
Yeah, and I think that's something worth all of us thinking about.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to leave it.
Okay, well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.